So you're a software engineer, and maybe, just maybe, you've been thinking about making the jump. Getting out of the pull request queue and into product management. I mean, on the surface, it makes total sense. But here's the thing. We're about to break down why that dream transition can, well, pretty often turn into a total nightmare.
This right here, this is the core assumption that so many of us make. We think our technical skills are this golden ticket to leading a product. But what if that expertise, the thing you're most proud of, is actually your biggest blind spot? Let's really dig into that. And look, on paper, the logic is totally flawless, isn't it? I mean, you know the tech stack, you know what's actually feasible, and most importantly, you know how to talk to other developers. It just feels like the most natural career move in the entire world. Okay, but here comes the brutal reality check. That one thing that makes you a great engineer, that absolute deep-seated obsession with how to build things, that's the very same thing that can completely blind you to the why. The reason anyone should even care in the first place. Just look at this. It really breaks down the two worlds perfectly. See, as an engineer, you get rewarded for nailing the how. We're talking implementation details, slick algorithms, and figuring out what's feasible. Your brain is literally wired to solve the how. But a PM, they live and die by the why. They're obsessed with user pain, business impact, and what the market actually needs. And let me tell you, the second you as a PM start talking about the how, you've basically already lost the game. And you know what the result of all that is? It's this. You get these beautifully architected, perfectly scalable products that, well, nobody actually wants to use. It's this builder bias that engineers carry into the PM role, and it leads to these technically elegant solutions for problems that just don't exist for real people. So here's the crucial thing to understand. You're not just changing your job title on LinkedIn. No, you are stepping into a fundamentally different universe. It's like moving from a world that runs on clean, predictable logic to one that runs on, well, messy, unpredictable human behavior. Think about it. As engineers, we're trained to hunt for bugs. The problem is always bad code, right? It's something we can fix. We worry nonstop about bugs, performance, latency, but the real problem, the thing that's the true existential threat to your product, it's market irrelevance. That's the real killer. And just how big of a killer is it? Well, industry research estimates that up to 90% of new products fail. Let that sink in. 90%. And guess what? They're not failing because the code was sloppy. They're failing because brilliant engineers built absolutely perfect solutions for problems that simply didn't exist in the real world. This right here is the core conflict. See, engineering is deterministic. If your logic is sound, the program compiles. It just works. It's predictable. But product management, that is probabilistic. You are literally placing bets on messy, irrational humans. You could build the most flawless feature in the world, and they might totally ignore it because, I don't know, the button is the wrong shade of blue. It's a whole different ballgame. Padma Chandramouli, a former tech lead who actually made this transition successfully, she just nails it with this quote. She realized her entire definition of success had to change. It couldn't be about the elegance of her code anymore. It had to be about the real-world outcomes for the user. And she has a great example. When she launched a machine learning service for dialysis patients, the win wasn't making the algorithm faster. Who cares? The real win was saving clinics $6,000 a month and getting patients life-saving early intervention. See, this is what happens when you're celebrating your code efficiency metric going up while the customer revenue line stays completely flat. You're cheering for the wrong score. Let's just be brutally honest for a second, okay? Your customers do not care about your beautiful Kubernetes clusters. I promise. They don't care about your microservices, your monolith, none of it. All they care about is that when they click a button, their life gets just a little bit easier. That's it. You have to stop selling the tech and start selling the solution. All right, so that's the problem. It's a big one. So how do you actually survive this and become a truly literal product manager? Well, the trick is you have to weaponize your technical background, not be a victim of it. And that means completely rewiring your habits. Let's get into the playbook and see exactly how to do that. Okay, here it is, your tactical playbook. It's a simple 3-step plan. Step 1, you're going to reframe the way you talk about problems. Step 2, you're going to leverage your unfair advantage, your superpower. And step 3, this is the important one, You're going to start acting like a PM today. First things first, reframe your language. You have to stop talking in solutions. Just look at this side by side. The bad PM says, we need to migrate our database to reduce latency. It's a technical task. But the killer engineering PM, they say, our users are churning because reports are too slow. We need to get them their insights in under 2 seconds. See the difference? Same project, totally different framing. One inspires a team, the other just sounds like a chore.
All right, tactic 2, use your superpower. Your technical background is a massive, unfair advantage, but only if you use it for translation. You can build so much trust with your engineering team because you actually speak their language. You get the trade-offs. You can see challenges coming a mile away. You become this crucial bridge between the business folks and the dev team. So what if you're still an engineer? What if you haven't made that leap to PM yet? Well, what can you do right now, today, to start getting ready? It's all about acting like a PM now. The next time you get a ticket assigned to you, don't just put on your headphones and start coding. Stop. Go find your PM and ask them, hey, why is this feature important? Ask it what user problem that actually solves. Even better, volunteer to sit in on a few customer interviews. Ask to see the product metrics. Start getting completely obsessed with the why right now. Let's see what this looks like in the real world. Here's our engineer turned PM who's probably going to get fired. They say, I've prioritized refactoring the auth microservice because the code is getting messy. They're focused on internal tech debt. Now look, that might be important, but it's not tied to any user outcome. And now here's the lethal PM, the one who gets promoted. They start with a business goal. Our top objective is to increase user activation by 15%, so I've prioritized a single-click SSO login. See? The SSO login is still the how, but it's presented completely in service of the why. This isn't about messy code, it's about a real business outcome. That is product leadership. So when you boil it all down, this journey isn't just about changing your career. It's a complete transformation of how you think. You have to go from being the builder of the thing to being the strategist for why that thing should even exist in the first place. And this is the winning formula. When you combine your deep technical fluency, your understanding of what's possible, with an absolute, ruthless obsession for the user, what's valuable, that's when you create market disruption. That's when you become truly unstoppable. You have to let go of being the master of the code and instead become the master of the problem. So I'm going to leave you with one final question. Be honest with yourself. When was the last time you actually sat down and watched a real human being struggle to use a feature that you just built? If the answer is never, or it's been a while, then you're not ready to own a product strategy. Your journey to becoming a great PM, it starts right there, with the user.